Romans chapter 16, verse 25. It says, "Now to him who is able to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Jesus Christ." When was Jesus Christ going to preach? When he would live again. He never. Number one, when he was in Jesus of Nazareth, he taught parables. He didn't preach much when he was resurrected. He didn't preach now when he revived, and he came again. So that is when he begins to preach. Now for what purpose? It says, and the preaching of Jesus Christ. According to the revelation of the mystery kept secret since the world began. It was kept hidden. Hidden to the human being. And hidden to those in the cloud of witnesses. Notice if it is so that when Paul ascended into paradise, the Apostle Paul said that he was given ineffable words, which it was not permitted to man to utter. It means that Paul was given them to write them down, and he himself did not fully understand them. Because Paul was like a prophet apostle. He heard and he wrote. So when they asked him, "Paul, I don't understand why the 11 apostles are against you, and they are calling you Antichrist." I believe he answered them, "Paul, why does John say that the Antichrist is already here and that there are many Antichrists? Why does John say that?" And Paul had to tell Timothy, he had to say to him, "Look, Timothy, they say that I am Antichrist because I tell them that we do know Christ according to the flesh. We don't know it that way anymore, and they don't like it, and they think that I am against Christ." And then they had many questions. Paul had not answered them. I can answer them and explain. But notice that Paul did not. In fact, notice Paul did not know that in the first letter to the Corinthians 4:5, he says to them, "Look, let us not judge anything before the time until the Lord comes, because he is the one who is going to explain that." Look, put the English verse on the screen. Let's look at it in English, because it's a familiar verse to you. "However, due to the confusion of the apostles, he had to write to them and tell them this. Therefore judge nothing before the time, until the Lord come, who both will bring to light the hidden things of darkness." And why did Paul have to tell them? Why did he have to tell them? I can't explain that. But how can you not explain it if you are the apostle, the great apostle Paul, the expert architect? You possess all the necessary tools for the construction of the building. Yes, but there are some tools that did not reach him. It lacked parts. Therefore, he says, judge nothing. Because it was confusing when you tell a person that the apostles were Paul's enemies. When someone is informed that the apostles, followers of Jesus from Nazareth, were responsible for either directly killing Paul or providing an order for his execution. Although I tell you one thing, with the skill that Peter had with the swords, he could do it himself. So, those things brought confusion for those times. So he had to say, look, when the Lord comes, he will explain that to you.